Hey everyone, this is Christy and this is my first ever baking tutorial, and I thought it would be good to start with my sister's soda cracker toffee recipe. And so let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is the equipment that you need to do this recipe, and it's really simple, it's really easy. You don't have to worry about using a thermometer or anything like that. It's really easy. So first you're going to need, I'm going to take these things off. First, you're going to need a cookie sheet. And this one is 13 by 18. And you're going to need to line it with, there's something on this one. You're going to need to line it with heavy duty foil, which I have done. And then you're going to need to spray it with your non-stick pan spray, which whatever you want to use. And then you're going to need a high temp, no melt rubber spatula, and you're going to need an offset spatula, which is this kind, which is not straight, but it has that little bend in it. And you're going to need a whisk, which, do not laugh, I know I bake, but this is the only whisk I have. Don't judge. And you're going to need a heavy duty saucepan, which is what this is right here. And as far as ingredients, you're going to need a cup and a half of butter, a cup and a half of brown sugar, 12 ounces of whatever chocolate chips you want to use. You can use white chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips, or semi-sweet chocolate chips, and these are milk chocolate chips that I'm using. That's what my sister liked to use. And saltines, or if you're cheap like I am, but you can use the generic soda crackers because it really doesn't matter. And you want to use the salted ones. Don't buy the unsalted, because you want that, you want the, I'm sorry, you want the sweet and the salty taste. All right, so let's get started. All right, so here we go. So first, the recipe says to use 48 crackers, but I don't count the crackers. All I do, sorry for the loud crinkling, is you just line the cookie sheet with crackers. Very easy. Kids can do this part and help you. Just make sure it's full, and sometimes when you get to the sides you have to break a cracker in half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 48 is what I used in this 13 by 18 pan. All right, enough about the crackers. So now the exciting part. So we're going to turn the pan on to medium-high heat, and we're going to put our cup and a half of brown sugar. I could just eat brown sugar like with a spoon, but you know, I wouldn't do that. No, not that kind of girl. And then we're going to start melting the butter and the brown sugar. And we're going to use my little tiny whisk. And you know what's not smart about this little tiny whisk? You know that if you use a little tiny whisk that's short, you could burn yourself. Like this, like burns. That's not good. Not good. You don't want to be like this and burn yourself. Okay, so when the butter starts to melt with the brown sugar and you start to get a little bit more melty, you're going to want to start slowly and gently whisking, because hot butter and hot sugar burns like heck, and it can stick to you and really hurt you. So you don't want to do too much heavy duty whisking. You want to do really slow. Look, you get stuck in the whisk. So you just want to kind of stir it. And you can even, if you don't have a whisk or you don't want to use a whisk, you can use like a spoon or your rubber spatula, which is probably what I'm going to use. And the reason you want to use a high temp one is because you don't want it to melt inside your delicious butter sugar concoction. And so this is starting to melt, and what you want to happen is you want it to the butter and the brown sugar to come together and get well incorporated and start to bubble. And once it starts to bubble is when we're gonna pour it over the cracker mixture. Okay, so it's starting to bubble, and what you want to do is you want to kind of whisk so that the butter and the sugar come together, and it makes kind of like a little caramely situation. When you make regular toffee, it's like really takes a while, and you've got to melt the sugar, and you have to come to this temperature, and it's a long process. So this is kind of a quick and easy, let me turn it down, a quick and easy way to kind of have that toffee flavor without going to all the work, which is complicated. And this is kind of what you would do. This is what I call lazy people toffee. And if you know anything about me, I'm lazy. So there you go. Another thing you learned about me. I'm really, really lazy. Do you know what time I got dressed today? Noon. You want to do circular motions around the outside of the pan because that's where the butter likes to stay. So look, we're almost there. It's starting to bubble. So I'm going to do a little bit faster. Make sure that butter gets mixed in there. All right. So look. We're there. So look, it's starting to bubble. Only takes what, 5 minutes? This is what it should look like when it's all nice and bubbly, and then you know it's ready to pour onto your crackers. So here we go. So we're going to turn it off, and just in case the pan is hot, you always want to use an oven mitt or a towel because you do not want this. Okay. So now we're going to carefully, oh my gosh, we're gonna pour it over the crackers. And never, ever, ever look at this and go, I want to taste it, because you will burn your face off. And you will probably end up in the hospital because your tongue will be melted and it will melt off and you won't be able to taste anything probably for the rest of your life. It didn't get on all the crackers, so, and some of the crackers got misplaced, but it really doesn't. This is like not rocket science, okay, people? So you want to just kind of make sure it got on the majority of the crackers, and if any of them got misplaced, fix them. Do not try to fix them with your fingers, or else you may never feel again. You're gonna get blisters. I know about burns, okay? Take it from me, just listen. Do what Christy says. So, you know, just make sure that your crackers are well covered. And then you're gonna put it in a 400-degree oven for about 5 minutes. Again, you're gonna put it in the oven till it starts to bubble. And then the exciting part comes when you're gonna put the chocolate on, the best part. And put it in the oven. And I'm a big user of timers because you should. Okay, let's see if it's bubbling. Ooh, it's bubbling. Ooh, it's hot too. Do you see that? It's time to take it out. So we are gonna get this thing out without burning ourselves. And you don't want to shake the pan too much because you don't want to make the crackers shift. So you're gonna put it on top of the stove. The best part is you're gonna sprinkle with your chocolate chips. And since the toffee layer is so, since the toffee is so hot, it's gonna melt the chocolate chips. And I'm gonna just do this. And I don't know if this is gonna be enough chocolate for me. I think I'm gonna put some more. Hold on. I like it a little bit more chocolatey. But that's 12 ounces of chocolate, which is enough, but I'm gonna put a little bit more. And our family doesn't really like nuts, so if you want, you can top this with chopped pecans if you would like, but we do not like that. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna leave this and let it be, and once the chocolate chips look shiny, then you know that they're melted, and then you're gonna spread it with your offset spatula. So we're gonna let things happen, let the magic happen, and we'll come back and spread it. Okay, so as you can see, I hope, the chocolate chips are, can you see that, camera girl? The chocolate chips are shiny, so now we can spread the chocolate chips. So we're just gonna take our bendy offset spatula, ooh, and we're gonna spread the chocolate. You don't have to do like a perfect job. Again, not rocket science, but you can do swirlies. And see if you make sure that all the chocolate chips are shiny, it goes on so nice. And this took about, I don't know, 10 minutes to make sure they were all melted. And when you put the chocolate chips on right after the toffee comes out of the oven, the toffee's nice and hot, so it takes no time at all to melt those chocolate chips. All right, so you can leave this out on your countertop and let it set, but that will take forever, and I do not like to wait a long time because I'm lazy and I like to have things immediately because I do not have patience. So what we're gonna do, you can put this in your refrigerator, but what my sister liked to do and what we like to do is we put it in the freezer, and then it gets hard really fast, and then we crunch it up and we eat it. And we usually leave it, we crunch it up, and then we usually put it in Ziploc bags, and then we like to eat it when it's frozen. So we're gonna put it in the freezer right now, but we can't show you that part because our freezer is a disaster. So we're gonna put it in the freezer, and then we're gonna come back and show you how we break it up into pieces. Okay, this is the moment that Donovan has been waiting for. This is my son Donovan, he's 13. And he's been asking, is the toffee ready? Is the toffee ready? Is the toffee ready? And it's ready for the best part, right, Don? So we're gonna take it out of the freezer. Oops, right behind me there on Jack. You gonna help me break it? Sure. So it's frozen pretty good, and it's if you spray it really good with the hand spray, it's gonna come right off. So this is what we do. We just break it into pieces. Right, Don? Look. Taste it, eat it. And then what you do, you can store it like in Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer, or you can give it to your friend, like in a cookie tin or a plastic container. But that's it. Okay, closing words. Thank you for watching, and we're gonna do more baking tutorials. Oh, Spike, you licked my lips. We're gonna do more baking tutorials. I think we're gonna do another one tomorrow. And thanks for watching, and happy holidays. Say happy holidays. Bye bye, Spiky.